The hardest thing is when you are feeling like you're alone when you're praying, and the encouragement that comes, it can be so challenging when you just feel like you're all alone. But the encouragement that comes when you're able to meet with other people, like we hear about Workplace and all the other groups that we have, to be able to come together and just share and to watch God move and encourage you. And I don't know about you, but prayer used to be work for me. It was part of my job assignment as a Christian. And can anybody relate to that? And now it's such a joy just to be with God and be with other people that want to be with God and to see what He does and the absolute joy of sharing in His presence together. So Pray Ottawa works on bringing prayer leaders, and it can be just a few or a larger group together to help encourage each other, to intercede, to pray for our area, for our region, and just to make sure that this area is completely saturated and focused in prayer and sustained prayer. One of the events that we just did a little while ago with Pray Ottawa was we had a pastor's prayer summit. Had the privilege of leading it with Marilyn and Chris Byberg, who I didn't know very well. In fact, I really didn't know you at all until we began to do ministry together. And it's my privilege to introduce Chris and Marilyn Byberg from the National House of Prayer, who pray for a living. And through prayer, we are able to live in a much better way. So thank you so much. Is this his mic right here? I don't. There you go. Oh, there we go.
Okay. It's the white one, it's not the red one. Thank you. Thank you, Doug. It's been a joy to get to know Doug and work through the process. So let me tell you about how we got here. Say hi, Marilyn. Oh yeah, if I take the mic, then I'll just go.
Hi, everyone. It was a real privilege working with Doug and Peter and the whole team at the Pastors Summit. And it was our second year. And if you haven't been to one, next year, it's coming again. Okay? That's all I have to say.
So we moved to Ottawa in January 2021. Moved from Oshawa to Ottawa, real easy move, just changed 2 letters. Simplest move we've ever had to do. So we moved to Ottawa with preconceived ideas. Because we figured the city of Ottawa would be very much like what goes on Parliament Hill. Because that's what everybody thinks. And when I ask people, when we travel the nation, I say, what do you think about Ottawa? And they all say, oh, that's got to be a dark place. Such a dark place. Oh, all the division, all the strife. How do they even live there? And then I tell them, but I have to tell you a story. It's not like that at all. Really? Oh, goodness. Let me tell you about one-way ministry. This place is amazing. Everybody needs this. Every city we go to, there is so little of what happens here in the city going on in the rest of the country. It's hardly non-existent. When I talk to prayer streams and prayer people in cities, and I say, so how's your relationship with pastors? Well, pastors don't even like each other. They don't even talk to each other. I love this. Fostering friendships. You don't know how big that is. In most cities, there is so much distrust from churches and pastors, and they're like this. But I come to Ottawa, and it's like, what do you need? I mean, it was only a couple of days, and Richard was at my house with a box of stuff. And then he set up a time to pray with a bunch of prayer leaders in the city. And it was, and like came in COVID, and we were super, super lonely. There was nobody. But I remember on that call where they said, you know what? We've been here for a couple months, and we don't feel homesick. And that had a lot to do with one-way ministry. I said to, I used this analogy. I said, one-way ministries is like this. They are the mortar between the living stones. That's what they're like. They just bring us together. They're like structure. I just came from a 10-day tour out to British Columbia. We went out to do a Vancouver Ignite. We did an Ottawa Ignite with Billy Graham and EFC and Vineyard Canada, Peace and Reconciliation and National House of Prayer. And we did that. And you know what? Coming into doing the Ottawa event, I was confident that we were going to do great on this because you guys were already together. 70 pastors meet on a regular basis to pray monthly. When you share that to the rest of the country, they go, what? You know how hard? I was just in a meeting with a prayer leader in Vancouver, and he was in tears because he tried so hard to get just a handful of pastors together to pray, and nobody showed. This is not only is it good soil, this is great soil to sow into. And if you're partnering with them, I'm going to even challenge you more, because we partner with them. Partner some more. Or tell your friends. I tell all my friends everywhere I go. I tell Richard, I tell Mark, you guys need a franchise. You guys should be franchising this and this. But you know what? I'll tell you why. Why most people wouldn't do this? Because the cost is so great. The cost of friendship is grand. Most places don't want to do that. Nobody wants to pay that price. The cost of growing personally and spiritually. And I love this part, living out God-given dreams and callings together. So that's all I have to share. I love this ministry, and I wish there were hundreds of them in Canada.